Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram,
Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. So what is to be shared today?
Swamiji can't listen, I think somebody came to call Shruti or someone.
Eh?
They are not able to hear it.
Swamiji, this you have to keep. 1 second.
Yeah.
Now.
Now you can hear.
Are you able to hear?
We can't hear much, Swamiji.
No, he says no.
Your sound system.
Oh, this is Swamiji's laptop.
Hari Om, you are able to hear. 1 second. Swamiji, this is off.
Swamiji can't hear.
Yes. Now you speak, Swamiji. Now you speak.
Hari Om, can you hear?
Yeah.
I have not switched it on.
Now you can. Talk.
So we are all trying, but we don't do exactly what is to be done at that time. And then complain. Eh? Eh? You are in Chennai? Okay. I can't hear.
They are in Chennai, it seems.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Exactly same thing happens in sadhana for us.
Exactly same thing happens for sadhana. Now tell us what is to be shared today.
What is to do for connection?
What to do for connection, it seems.
When you said, this has to be connected. Huh?
Yes.
When you said you can't hear, you showed some sign. Then immediately we checked up what is wrong. Then it was corrected. Similarly, when we try to get ourselves connected with Him, there is something blocking, That has to be not thought over, deeply contemplated upon. Meaning what? Where from the sound comes? How is it that I am hearing? How is it that I know that I am there? These are all some of the ways by which we try to become aware of His presence. When we talk and stop, we become aware, of the silence. Who is becoming aware of the silence? Please don't answer. We are trying to go within. Whenever any gadget does not function as it should function, we immediately refer, or somebody who has experienced, he will say, you are not switched on this particular. Or we go to the manual. Similarly, we are outwardly we are doing what is expected of us. Chanting His name, bhajan, swadhyay, darshan. But still we don't feel we get connected. We may be attending the program, we may be delivering the program, but we still don't feel that we get connected with Him. Because in our mind, there is a separateness. That He is separate from what I am. So, how to remove that? No external support can help us here. The very fact that the sound is now coming is a proof that he is there. The very fact that the eyes are open, ears are open, like that. Immediately we try to become aware. Just like when we switch on the light, the light comes, So we are aware electricity is there. Electricity also cannot be seen. Only when we switch on, we find the gadget or the bulb or the fan working. Similarly, all our sense organs are working now because of that power. And we are searching for that power. How can it come? So constantly becoming aware of the power behind all our sense organs and our being. Beingness, the amness. I am. The beingness, which is unshakable. So we try. This is one of the methods by which we can. How am I thinking now? How am I talking now? How is the hand going now? How am I looking? How am I hearing? How am I touching? How am I tasting? How am I thinking? How am I memorizing? How am I, forgetting? Like that, keep on when we try, we keep on trying to know the power behind it. So far, we have been treating it as a separate one. That is why we were not reaching anywhere. The very act of that is being done is because of its presence, is it not? This could be one of the methods. There could be so many other methods. That is why Papa always says the indwelling and all pervading, indwelling and all pervading. Right from beginning, though we have been associating with Papa through the thoughts, through his teachings, we have been treating him as separate, When we hear shlokas, Brahmanandam, Paramasukadam, Kevalam, Jnanamurtim, Dandvatitam, Gaganasadasham, Tattvamasyadiraksham, Ekam, Nityam, Vimalam, Achalam, Sarvadi, Sakshibhudam, Bhavatitam, Trigunarehitam, Sadgurum, Tam Namami. If we go through the meaning, we will be nearing it. But what happens is, still we have in our mind a concept that is an entity, that is a power separate. Actually, it is the sloga telling how to express that. The one which he is now reciting the sloga, that is made possible only because he is there. That's why Gandhiji said in a beautiful way, he exists because I exist. The very fact that I exist is a proof that he exists. So far, whatever said and done, we have been treating it as a separate entity. So during the past moments or passive moments like this, when the external disturbances are not there much, when the external disturbances are there, it is very difficult, agreed. So during such past moments, sattvic moments, peaceful moment, we can try this method. And see for ourselves whether it stays with us. Otherwise, we will try something else. And each one has to bring out their own method. We have to be steadfast in one line, that's all. With this background, if we go through, no, oh, that is English I've got. You just hear what Papa says. O Ram, what thy slave Ramdas should do or should not do must be determined by thee alone. He is bewildered. He is helpless. Make him resign all to thee. Let him live, move, and have his being in thee. Let him eat, drink, sleep, move, sit, stand, talk, think, look, hear, smell, touch, do everything in thy name and for thy sake only. Instead of trying to know the power behind this word, behind this movement of the hand, another method. Everything is done by you. Everything is offered to you. You gave us this, it is offered to you. You make me talk, you make me walk, you make me think, you make me sit, you make me sleep. All activities have been brought out. In quest of God, in the outpourings of the cave, some clues he is giving how to connect ourselves. O Ram, thy slave cannot know what to think of the infinite love. Shall he weep over it? Shall he smile over it? Shall he cry over it? Shall he laugh over it? Thy love is at times so grand, majestic, vast, gushing like the mighty ocean. At times it is so soft, gentle, tender, silent. O Ram, keep thy slave always absorbed in thee. He is at once thy slave and thy child. He is at once thy slave and thy child. So once in a way, suppose we go through the outpourings, whenever we find it difficult to connect ourselves, it might help. Because there was a dialogue between him, the sense of individuality, and the power behind the sense of individuality. Just like when he was totally free from all disturbances in the cave, whenever we are free from disturbances, even it is for a short time, we can also try this, Initially, we may be thinking that we are talking to ourselves. Doesn't matter. But ensure that nobody else is there. People will mistake. This man has gotten off the head. So we start, this inner dialogue. I think inner dialogue will give us more and more clarity. Because there, the inner dialogue means, first of all, the tangible gain is we are accepting the presence of a power, of a of the great power because of which we are existing. I don't say we become aware, but we accept it mentally. We accept it intellectually.
Some auto.
Only by trial and error method we can have this. Nobody will be able to give us the formula. So he has given us so many clues. We have to travel with that clue. Now I think we can say that is why Papa was referring that Ramdas would also, though the Ram and Ramdas are one, Ramdas would like to be the servant of Ram. That means when the sense of individuality functions, so long as the body is there, it will function, It established a it recognized and established a relationship with the power inside. And outwardly functioning as an individual. And the individual thought is there, individual mind is there, individual intellect is there, everything is there. But that is being, what do you call, activated by that power. So that's why he could say that though Ramdas and Ram are one, Ramdas finds joy in becoming the servant of Ram. Some clues, To get a glimpse of it, he has also prescribed this mental chanting, So whenever we are in a passive mood, sattvic mood, suppose we take to this mental chanting of Ram Nam, it arrests all other thoughts, and then chanting stops by itself. Again, some other thought comes, we start chanting. Now we become aware. There is a stage where chanting goes on and chanting is not there. If we try to define the experience where there is no chanting, it will be a failure. But we are aware, because it is purely a subjective experience. So every now and then, whenever it is possible, every now and then, suppose we try this mental chanting, and on a sattvic atmosphere, suppose we intensely, by the time the mind would have trained to chant mentally, and at that time when we make use of this technology of mental chanting, it might help us. In the initiation book, he has explained this while discussing about the sweetness of Ramna. He said, throw some light. according to him, Nama is sweet. This is the wonder about the name which he is repeating. Then immediately he says, it depends upon the repeater, of course. Unless we are free from the low passions of the heart, we cannot taste the sweetness of the name. So when we complain that we are unable to experience that, it is because the down-pulling forces are very predominant. For a trice, it may be just keeping it away, but the inner craving will be there. That's why he says here, sweetness means, presence. When the presence is felt, it is called sweetness, When the presence of the mysterious power, Ram, when it is experienced, it is expressed as sweetness. So Papa was enjoying that sweetness. But we are also repeating, we are not enjoying the sweetness. So the reason is, it depends upon the repeater. Unless we are free from the low passions of the heart, we cannot taste the sweetness of the same. We have to think about it, no? That means with all the passions in my heart, low passions in my heart, if I struggle this, I may not be able to get. So purificatory process is also to be undertaken along with this. Sugar is sweet, by nature it is sweet, it can never be bitter. But when the sweet sugar is put in the mouth of a man who is having some kind of fever, he finds the taste not sweet but bitter. He throws it away. That shows the man is diseased. So when we are diseased with low desires, the name does not taste sweet to us. We must go to a doctor who can cure us, and that doctor is a guru who by his presence removes our disease of desires, gives us this nectarian name, and you find that instant it is sweet. Even then we have not, because our our dirt is so thickened which cannot be removed so easily. From 1920 onwards, he was bringing so many measures on himself. And so when the Nama was initiated, by that time, he was totally free from all low passions. In the midst of all these passions, we are trying. Unknowingly, not that we... So some effort also to be made to get rid of the low passions by filling our mind with higher values. Not that we have to condemn ourselves. We are trying to understand why we were not able to connect ourselves, Just like when we started, we couldn't connect. Then somebody pointed out, I am not hearing. Then we checked up. So what is to be switched on here for the sound? That was not attended to. When that was done, it was heard. So similarly, we are trying to understand. Outwardly, we are doing everything, but we are not getting connected with him. So then we try so many things. No. Then finally, the master says, that if we have the low passions, it will be difficult to enjoy. And Papa said only chanting here. But what did he... We also chant, but we don't get the sweetness, We still feel that along with chanting, so many things are to be done that was not attended to. Self-denial was there, lifestyle was changed, comfort zones were removed. We want to retain everything, and then along with that we also want it. That's what the Swami Padmanabhanji Maharaj the other day said, there should be only one prayer, exclusive prayer. Then only it will be heard. It was a wonderful hint he gave. When Papa said, remove the I-ness and take me unto yourself, under your protection. And the prayer was heard. That means that was the only prayer. So we now, at this moment, probably we may not be able to reach that stage. But let us be very clear about it, Not in the same way, some preparation. We know the tendencies of the mind, how it is pulling us away. It may not be visible, it may not be explicit, but its pull is there indirectly. Meaning it has not vacated the mind space. At the moment, it may not be visible or explicit, but it is still there. One by one he removed, Whether it is dress, whether it is bed, whether it is food. Whether it is the company he had. So many things went along with him while taking up the chanting. We only thought, with all this, if we chant, we will get it. So many things have to follow along with the chanting. One by one we will try. First of all, Shapad. Suppose we name, this is the favorite one I have. Are we in a position to sacrifice? I will not touch that stuff for so many days. The one which you hold very dearest. Favorite. Because Gandhiji says that palate, control of palate is very important. Somewhere, that means something we have to do from ourselves. It can vary from person to person. One will be able to identify what is the weakness. And if we can identify that, we pray to him to somehow give us the, the power to withstand the attraction. You remember, he said, when he was avoiding the bed and everything so that, he might sleep. He was avoiding food also because he said he will be sleeping. So not in that way we can do it, but in some form there will be some effort on our part to provide, to vacate what is occupying our mind space. to get rid of it, For that we feel some brothers. And in his case, we have found that in spite of the vradas, he was periodically resorting to solitude, water fast, moun, left everything. You can't even say simple living habits. No, nothing was there, So we are sitting in the midst of everything, and our mind is trying to reach that stage. Whether it is possible or not, we have to see that. But these are all placed before us. He was able to scale the heights because along with chanting, he did so many things. We may not be able to do everything, but probably we can make a trial, Something on our part. That is why it was suggested 3-4 days back that every day we will try to identify one interaction with an object or a person where we find comfortable with his remembrance. Then actually when we try that, a methodology will get evolved. We are trying to understand. First here, we want to know the methodology. No. The methodology has to get evolved from ourselves. So for that, we will make an attempt like this. After getting up, until we retire to bed, there are so many activities, mental, physical, outside. Among all these things, we pick 1 or 2 or 3 and try to get this connectivity. When we try that, when we fail, we try that, when we fail, a methodology suitable to our equipment will get evolved. He tried and that is how he got that. Because to be very frank, none of us have surrendered anything to anybody, na? So we keep on telling and hearing. Any slight thing, we will not compromise, we will not reconcile to the situation. Blunt truth. We have to face it. Immediately the body will react, mind will react. So somewhere we have to try. So the methodology, now it's very clear that methodology has to get evolved. And we cannot expect that methodology to be given by anybody else. Others' methodology may not suit us. Our equipment may not be able to accept it. Every day we are telling, I surrender myself entirely to thee. We are not in a position to. Many a time we used to sing, nothing we have surrendered, na? Even at the time of telling, suppose somebody, even the very act of prayer, if somebody is not properly, the dictum is not there, immediately we will find fault with it, no? If we don't hear, if the mic is not here, if the sound is not audible, even the very act of telling this, O Lord of the universe, I creator, protector, destroyer of the world, I come in all humility to thy holy feet and surrender myself entirely to thee. And this methodology, some of you might know. Take that poem. He himself wrote this. So the methodology got evolved by itself. Can you see, everybody? This is Papa's handwriting. So when he was on the journey, it got evolved by itself and he brought it out. He must have written with steel pen. Can you see that? Can you see? Yeah. This push. This is universal prayer written by Papa. And second line he says, I come in all humility to thy holy feet and surrender myself entirely to thee. So then it gives us the meaning that the methodology got evolved by itself. And he started sharing this. He was able to accept the Lord of the universe as not only creator, not only protector, but also as the destroyer. We give thrust only to the protector, no? That has been our habit. Whenever we need any protection, anything to, we immediately think about God. Here the creator of the problem, protector of the problem, destroyer of the problem. So everything, so we can say that it got evolved by his intense sadhana, and this methodology, every word of this prayer, deign to bless me with thy remembrance, O merciful divine master, give me strength, purity, peace. It came from him, It came from inside. When we saw that, he did not dictate, he wrote. I beg of thee, I prostrate before thee, hearken to this heartfelt prayer of mine, make me thine and thine only, for ever and ever. So what welled up? What welled up in his heart? So similarly, something should well up, Then only the connectivity. So he was able to address him as, O creator, O protector, O destroyer. Every word of that universal prayer, if we apply up, then we come to understand, oh yeah. It was not a prayer of somebody he read like us. It is not a prayer somebody told him to memorize. Somebody told him to repeat every day. The prayer welled up in his heart. Such a prayer should well up in our heart. Not in the same way. So we now try, we pray to him now. It got evolved by itself, agreed. Give us the technology. Again, we are looking up to technology from outside. You may be able to read some more books. You might have heard about this Vipassana program. There, Goenkaji brought out this beautiful method. Absolutely zero guidance from outside. Evening he will share some thoughts. But throughout the waking state, we have to sit, watch the mind, that's all. The only thing is watching the mind. But it might become mechanical, it might give them temporary, pause moments that we don't know. But the methodology, there should be at least, we are not depending upon any factors outside. And then then only our own method will get evolved. So long as we are depending upon any external factors, we have tried that, no? We did try. Now it is becoming very, very clear. Papa used to say, why is he telling like that? We used to wonder. Sadhana used to know that by sadhana, you cannot achieve. Because anything outside, anything external, prevents us from taking a stand inside. So to eliminate all other things, we have to do the sadhana. And the real sadhana is, after that, what happens is our sadhana. In Quest of God, centenary Swadhyay of In Quest of God now touches and kindles this fundamental thing. Reliance on the indwelling reality to open up. You are there. That belief is there, no doubt about it. But to open up, we don't know how. So we have been trying the clues given from outside. And in that process, we were out. Out means, going out. We are actually standing before the door to open. Then somebody says how to open, what to do, then we look at him and then we go along with him. With the result, we have not opened, Whereas what we are reading is they have opened. So now people like us, we can do that. We are standing before the door to open. Though we are hearing, we are trying to follow other methods. Now we start praying to him. We don't know how to open, please. Today morning somebody was asking, what is chanting from navel or bottom of the heart? Feeling. So this prayer should come out with the feeling. So something will get evolved when the prayer is offered with that feeling. And we all know that feeling cannot be learned from outside. Feeling it comes from within. Compassion, oneness, fullness. Just start thinking. And that can come only when this aspiration becomes one-pointed, no? Only at this moment, probably it is one-pointed. Next moment, the mind is crowded with its own priorities. We are watching ourselves. Why we have not been able to hold on? At this particular moment, probably it may get centered on this. But we are unable to hold on. So that is why Vrada comes, some self-denial, some self-imposed. Yes, he said that, Vairagya and Abhyasa. Probably he got so much frustrated. He said, either you have Vairagya or you have got practice. A wonderful dialogue. So we try to develop 0.25%, 0.5%, 1%, 1.5%. Some self-denial. I think it's a must. Anyway, let us keep on trying. Let us not get dejected. There will be a way out because we are his children. He is prompting us to do it. And he knows our limitations. Because he has given now. So with that freedom we can pray. Enable us. You have taken this much, you have made us to hear all these things now, The very fact that you made us to hear, the very fact that you made us to aspire that state, how will I get connected? Show me some path, because you are there. You want us to become more and more serious about it, that we can understand. Because of our external attractions, enslavements, we have not been able to pull our entire thing to you. Still it has got some craving. So please bless us to slowly withdraw from this and channelize the whole thing, pull the entire thing towards you. That also you should do it. So let our prayer well up. We have to keep on assuring ourselves. We are on the path, we will reach that stage At the moment, we have not paid the price. We want to pay the price. So we will slowly take one by one from our pocket and give, Previously, we thought, along with so many things, we also have this. Now, slowly it is becoming prioritized. So, 10 items plus this. You will see 9.5 and plus this. And 9 plus this. 8.5 plus this. Like that, we will try. Because he is with us, we will surely get him. No doubt about it. Because if it is an outside thing, then we have doubt that whether we will get him. But it is not. He is behind even this talk, even behind this, our awareness about our limitations. He is behind even the awareness of our limitations. So he is there. So what is needed is to somehow bring in this vairagya aspect to the extent possible and practice aspect. Regular practice and a little bit of dispassion. So that whatever is there, it can be pulled. It can be pulled. Because on the day of launching, revered Padmanabhanji Maharaj specifically mentioned this. Very, very touching it was. He took up that very important chapter, the second chapter, Enunciation. And he read out the same. People are deluded when they say, I do this, I do that. This is mine, that is mine. But Lord, oh Lord, everything is yourself. Everything is yours. So thy slave's one prayer is to take him under your protection and remove the I-ness. And then he said the prayer was heard. But he said it was a single prayer. Prayer at the exclusion of everything. We are now checking up. Have we reached that stage? If not, how to reach that stage? We would have read this book many a times. But when Swamiji Maharaj said that, he was Papa was drawing our attention through Maharaj. Very salient aspect, vital aspect. He also said about that the boy, the boy who was collecting flowers, and he was not seen and during the search it was found out that he was standing before a plant or a tree, So like that he could become one with it. Exclusive, Zero distraction. Very important. That particular day is Swamiji Maharaj gave us all those things. Martin, and we all know about that parrot. However much we hear, we will just go out and come back. So we try. Let us all, we have been fortunate enough to get all these clues from Papa, through so many sources, now enable us to make use of such and make us feel that we are moving towards you. You are holding us, but we should know that you are holding us, That is enough. Just to make us aware you are holding us. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om.